What's up, minions and mortals? This is Fang von Rathenstein, lead singer of the most metal band on earth, the Lords of the Trident. And of course, your first question upon viewing this video is, that's strange, why does Fang have his old armor on? Well, today is Friday, and of course that means Casual Armor Friday. While I still do have my wonderful braces and my hand protection, the other set of armor is pretty big and bulky and requires a lot of maintenance and leather work and things like that. I could just throw this old thing on any day and still be protected by assassins' attacks. So, the webzine Revista Sliders has asked me to sit down with you and answer a few questions about the band. First off, when was Lords of the Trident founded, or how was Lords of the Trident founded? Well, it was a very interesting question, a very long and difficult answer. Essentially, I was born from a volcano containing pure metal and steel at the beginning of time, and it was my mission, my duty, to go across the land and find the most metal warriors and bring them into one band together. And so that's what I did. I traveled all over the world and found the most amazing, immortal metal warriors and put them together into this band. Of course, there's the full story if you have the time and the attention span to view it. You can check it out at our website, lordsofthetrident.com. Click on the bio section and read the Homer-esque, the Odyssean biography. And I've heard that in some colleges across the land it actually counts for your Communications B requirements. It's so very long. Question number 2. Who are your biggest musical influences? This is a difficult question. It's one that gets asked often enough, but you know, obviously since we've been around since the dawn of time, we don't have really a whole lot of influences. If anything, most of the influences people would list, you know, your Iron Maiden, your Judas Priest, your Dio, sort of ripped off us in a sense, you know, if you really think about it. I don't prefer to think of it that way, of course. I think of it as more they're doing an homage to Lords of the Trident, whether they know it or not. So, you know, but if I had to say what are some bands that we enjoy listening to, what are some bands that we really, you know, pump in the Trident mobile and we turn it all the way up, you know, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Dio, Sabotage, but you know, heck, we like new metal as well. We listen to a lot of Scar Symmetry. We listen to, you know, Dream Evil is one of our favorite bands. So there's, you know, there's a lot of wonderful bands out there that we listen to. Question number 3. Can you describe the metal scene in the United States? Well, the metal scene in the United States is like any other music scene in the United States, except it's a lot more metal. That being said, it is a little bit difficult nowadays to be sort of our genre of metal, the more traditional, you know, back to the roots heavy metal, because you just don't see a whole lot of bands out there doing that style. It's either death metal or extreme metal or things like that, especially in our sort of area where we take dominion. We're currently living in the fiery depths of Madison, Wisconsin, 13 miles beneath the Earth's crust, of course, so we don't cause earthquakes. But you know, around here there's a lot of death metal, a lot of black metal, some thrash metal. You know, being with the forests and the trees of Wisconsin, you do have some black metal, of course. But not a whole lot of bands that are doing sort of what we do. So when we come across these type of bands, you know, it's a real treat for us. You know, your Inner Siege out of Peoria, Illinois, your Force Field, you know, out of Appleton, those sort of things. Really enjoy playing with those type of bands. The United States as a whole, obviously, of course, it's not as big of a scene as it is over in Europe. But there are some wonderful festivals out there. The Warriors of Metal Festival, Prague Power, of course, you know, who are really attempting to sort of bring this scene to light. Question number 4. Why did you choose the name Lords of the Trident? You know, I wish I had a better answer for this. It's just not all that exciting. We got the band together, of course, and we knew we were destined to make the most metal music on the face of the earth, but we couldn't think of a name for it, you know. A bunch of names were tossed around. All of them were terrible, just horrible. And so we fought long into the night. There were knife fights, there were axe fights. It was a good time, but you know, we grabbed a couple casks of ale, opened them up, started drinking, kept drinking, and you know, by the end of the night we were, well, pretty sloshed. So we decided, hey, let's go down to the Oracle of Delphi and we'll see what she says about our band name. So of course, drunkenly we walked to the Oracle's place, and we bursted in, you know, we asked her, oh, Oracle, what should we call our band, because we're so good. And the Oracle did her whole, like, woo, I'm an Oracle, kind of thing. And she came up with the name Lords of the Trident Unite. And, you know, we thought that was a pretty good name, so we started calling ourselves that. But people, you know, it was too long. And so we decided, let's just drop the Unite part, and we'll just call ourselves Lords of the Trident. And that's the way it's been. And actually, our third album was supposed to be entitled Unite, as you know, as an homage to the old ways and things like that. But it just didn't actually happen because the guys didn't really like it all that much. So, question number 5: what is the relevance of independent media like Revista sliders in today's world? Fantastic question. I think that independent metal media, you know, webzines, online radio programs, that sort of thing, are where you find the most hardcore, dedicated warriors out there. It used to be that you could, you know, saunter into your local radio station, hand them a disc and say, hey, play this, and it would be played across the United States or across your state or across your county or region or whatever. But you can't do that anymore. So many large corporations control what's on the radio. So us hardcore metal fans, us true warriors, we need to go somewhere else to find like-minded people, to find like-minded bands, and new music. Because let's face it, it's pretty difficult to get new music on the commercial radio nowadays. So this is where independent media outlets like Revista sliders and like online radio stations and things like that fill in the gap and actually provide a better service than what commercial radio is providing nowadays. You wouldn't hear 1/64th of the bands that you hear on web radio, on independent radio, on online independent programs that you do on commercial radio. It's just not happening. So you're doing a very good job, Revista sliders. Keep up the good work, as are all of you out there. Your independent radio stations, your independent online review sites. That's where you find the real, true metal warriors. Question number 6. Can you tell us about goals and upcoming songs for Lords of the Trident in 2015? Can I ever? We have a brand new album coming out Friday the 13th in February called Frostburn. And it is, beyond a doubt, the best album we have ever made, ever, in our entire immortal lives. It is fantastic. You're going to love it. So mark your calendars, get it on your Gcal, put it on your phone calendar, get it on an Outlook calendar, whatever you use. Throw it on there and say, Friday, February the 13th, I have to take a plane, I have to charter a bus, I have to hijack a cruise ship, and I have to make it to Madison, Wisconsin for the biggest, most awesome CD release party that you will ever see in your entire lives, guaranteed. And you're going to love this album. I think it's already been banned in 36 countries by the United Nations. Germany actually has feared riots because of shortages of the album. So be a good metal warrior, pick up Lords of the Trident, Frostburn on Friday, February 13th, and see if you survive. If you do survive, then it was meant to be. We'll see you in the front row. If you don't survive, hey man, what better way to go out than listening to the purest of the pure metal available. Of course, we have some music videos planned in the works. We have some touring planned in the works. But it's all sort of whispers and secrets at this point. We don't have anything real definitive to show you quite yet. But stay tuned. You can check out our progress online at lordsofthetrident.com. Or of course, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Facebook.com/lordsoftetrident and Twitter.com/lordsoftrident, because we signed up for Twitter way too early and the username field was shortened, and you know, it's a long story, and Twitter, man. Question number 7. What are the official websites of Lords of the Trident? Well, I've been spouting them almost this entire interview, but I'll let you know one more time. If you want to see everything related to Lords of the Trident, the whole shebang, check out our website at lordsofthetrident.com. We also, of course, have a Facebook, a Reverb Nation, Twitter, MySpace. Although, does anyone ever use MySpace? I don't think anyone uses MySpace anymore, so you could probably ignore that, but we have one. So if you want to be a hipster kid and use MySpace when no one else is, and because it's cool or something, go for it. But check us out online, facebook.com/Lords of the Trident, twitter.com/Lords of Trident, for some reason. And we're just about everywhere else on the internet. I took a barbarian night class in IT and in computers and website design and things like that a few years back. So one of my quests and goals has been to put us literally everywhere on the internet. So if you search for Lords of the Trident on Google, about the first 50 or so pages are all us, baby. Question number 8, the final question. Do you know any Mexican metal bands? Actually, yes, I do. I know a few. The first one that comes to mind is a band called Alas Negras. And we had the opportunity to see them at the Warriors of Metal Festival in Ohio, and they were fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. I actually had an opportunity to edit together a little video of their performance for them, which I believe they posted on their site. There's a few other Mexican metal bands that we've had the opportunity to share the stage with, but unfortunately metal is a fickle mistress, so I'll have to see if the bands are still together, as she gives and takes as she pleases, as you understand. I'd love to come down and tour Mexico sometime and pillage, and burn, and I've heard it's dry down there, which is good for the fire. It makes things ignite a lot quicker. So we'll let you know when we're on our way, and make sure to put the bars on the windows and lock up your daughters, if you know what I'm talking about. Thank you very much for watching this video interview for Revista Sliders. I am Fang von Rathenstein from the most metal band on earth, the Lords of the Trident, and once again, if you wish to check us out, go to our website, www.lordsofthetrident.com. And as always, stay metal.